Our time away since we did Zombie Nation back in 2011, and it doesn't seem like that's possible, but time goes fast, is that we had a lot going on personally and professionally, had families to raise and had things to do, and we felt like it was important for it to be natural that we felt like we wanted to come back. Bob and I are not only working partners, but we're good friends as well, and it was important for us to make an artistic statement when it felt right, and we're glad to be back doing our thing. Hey, you can come back on in here, man. We not, come on. No, you're welcome. We can move stuff out of the way.
I'm waiting for my wife.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This whole world is Wilson. 2 Wilsons for your eyes. You can run around all day long, but your eyes will never be satisfied.
Yeah, it's been a good trip, and actually it's been a good break, and I think giving us time to reevaluate what we're doing and go at this a second time, and a lot of things in our culture and society haven't really changed, and I think it's time for us to revisit what we've done. I think it's timely.
Definitely. And it says, somebody mentioned that the world, after they had listened to our album, had made the statement that the world had caught up to our album. And our album was, it wasn't as much of a political statement as it was an observation about the things that we saw in our world, that, you know, when we would tour and do shows, we would talk about, because that's all you can do in the cars, listen to music and talk. And Bob and I are both big talkers, and I can remember us talking specifically about things that we would see happening in the world that weren't what we felt like were great. And now we see, you know, kind of where we are now, or fast forward to 14 years later, and it's like, we don't want to call ourselves prophets, but it's kind of prescient what we were saying back then. And we were saying it in hopes that the world would become a better place. And, you know, there's always hope in the world, but I definitely think a lot of us on all sides of the spectrum can agree that we can do better than we're doing.
Agree. And
I mean, in all parts of our lives. And that's kind of what we're aiming at for this one, is, you know, to talk about how we all can contribute to doing a better job as human beings and citizens, and just fellow Americans and citizens of the world as well. So that's what you'll hear a lot of, and the message of hope too, because we always believe that mankind will ultimately prevail, not just get to where it wants to, but ultimately prevail, and not just survive. So that's kind of our ethos, I think.
yeah, the light will always take over the darkness eventually.
Yeah, I believe that too. I believe that. And this is not a re-release of the album as much as it is a continuation. And back to what we were talking about earlier, when we're talking about a reissue, like we could remaster the songs and throw a couple on there. This is a whole different thing. We're reimagining what we said before in the context of now. And it's like new. It's going to be a couple of redone songs, but it's going to be a lot of new songs that because we feel that this is a continuation. And the things that we saw before have evolved into whatever it is that we're going to say they are now. And we feel like that we knew that we had not fully covered the subject before, and now we're picking it back up where we left it and making the observations we make now. We're both very observational. I'll just say that much about it.
Yeah.
And I think that it's essential for it to be a continuation and not just a look back, because the world, I mean, we're different people now. A lot of the things we cherish are the same, but we all evolve. None of us are the same people we were the day before. We all wake up and we're a little bit new people, and we are definitely, after the last 14 years, we're different people too. And so our perspectives have changed a lot in regards to I've raised a child in this time period, and glad for it. Like, I don't think that either one of us would sacrifice or take back the time we had with our families, or because that's the most important thing to us is our families and our world that's right there at our fingertips. So this is not a wish it coulda. This is I'm glad we did what we did, and we're just ready to do some more of the other stuff.
Yeah, and we do this not just for our families, for everybody's families. This is an important time in American history, and this is what we do, and this is the way we have to express it.
Exactly. And it's not like we're going to do. What else are we going to do? we could get in the floor with crayons and paints, but we're not those kind of artists. I mean, on the most part, we both could be visual artists, or like that kind of art. But Bob's a visual artist with his photography and film. But we're using the things that we know how to do, and one of those is playing music. And we hope that what we do will. I think it'll get your attention.
In a way, hopefully, bring you some joy and maybe some enlightenment in the same thing.
Exactly. And the world, we're also aware that the world we're in now, as far as music, the landscape of music has changed so drastically. We're aware of that, and we're ready to jump back in. We know we're going to have to approach it in a different way, and that's fine. I've done a little bit between now and then, releasing stuff. I did an album with my kid, and one in 2016, but this is like getting full-blown back into it, and we're ready to go back out and play festivals and shows like we used to, and we're ready to do that work that's necessary to get to that place. And if you get a chance and you want to book us, we're readily available, and coming in 2026 we are readily available to come and do our thing, and we look forward to it.
Looking forward to seeing old friends again and
absolutely
getting back out there.
Absolutely. See, you've included 4 previously unreleased tracks from the original session. What can you tell us about the song that got away back then? Why did these particular tracks surface now? And okay, that's easy. We recorded the album in 2011. We worked with Tom Hambridge, who many of you in the blues community probably know about. He's Buddy Guy's drummer and band leader and producer, and he's won quite a few Grammys, so we were very proud to work with him. And the ones that we had were just like not quite, that we had enough, and those were what kind of, they weren't left over. They would have worked on the album, but we had them, and I didn't even realize we had them, and I was digging through a drawer, and it's like, oh my gosh, we got like 6 tracks from the original album that we didn't even use. And that's kind of what spurred me to get with Bob and say, hey, because he had contacted me about doing a new project, and I was like, hey, by the way, we have these other songs, and we could do a whole continuation thing because of the way things are, to kind of speak to what we were speaking to, because and then it grew from there. So we're back in the studio working again, and then this is just the beginning of an ongoing project that's coming next. So we just felt like it was better to get our feet wet and get back in it with this, and then just keep straight on working straight.
Never satisfied. Yeah! And what has been done has always been done before. Anything you do has already been
That's a good
done.
question. Lyrically and sonically, how do these 2024 tracks or 2025 tracks speak to the man you are now versus the men you were in 2011? Is the anger, the perspective, or the sound different? Yeah, the first album was kind of angry sounding. I would definitely, for a lot of reasons. We weren't. I don't think we were particularly angry. I think that our music was really rowdy, which comes across as angry. But with Tom Hambridge's drumming, it's very powerful, and Bob's harmonica playing is very powerful, and we came at it full tilt. Like I think one reviewer said, I think Microwave Dave said, who's one of our good friends, he said it sounded like we had fought our way with our backs to the wall out of a beer joint or something like that. So like it sounded like we were desperate men, But the men we are now, at least from my perspective, are wiser. I've got to be wiser from the things I have experienced in the last 10, 12 years. A lot more tied to the earth, and a lot more committed to things that I wasn't before. Definitely older, definitely older, a little grayer, and I think I have a little bit broader understanding about the world that I didn't have before. And if that's to answer the question about how I've changed since 2011 to now, I would say just a little wiser. How about you, Bob?
Yeah, I mean, a lot's changed in 14 years since our first attempt to bring some things to light, and here we are 14 years later, and I think it's pretty obvious to everybody there's issues that need to be dealt with. But yes, we have changed, and I think we're even more insightful than before, and I'm looking forward to the project. I think it's going to be, as powerful as the last one, but I think you're going to be surprised that it's going to be a little different. Mm-hmm.
Definitely, different's good. That's another thing we talk about is, I'm going to be very careful with this one. In the blues world, and this is not going to be completely a blues album, but it's going to have definitely a blues feel. We have been known to step out of the box. That's kind of something we're known for, and we're not scared to do that. And I think it's important for people to do that and not just be a couple of guys like trying to sound like somebody from the 1930s or 40s, because we're not those people. We will never be. We'll never be those people. We will never be Sleepy John Estes. We'll never be Robert Johnson or Muddy Wick. We're not trying to be. And we're influenced greatly by that kind of music. It's a music that drives our soul. It's the reason that we picked up these instruments to play. It's the people we studied and feel deeply inside of our self, inside of our aura, as the kids say. It's part of our aura. It's part of who we are as musicians, and so that's going to come out a bit, inevitably. But we're not scared to be like. This is not going to be some 12-bar band stuff. This is stuff that we feel lyrically and sonically it's going to be a little different. It's going to have a hard edge. It's going to have a soft edge. It's going to have a little bit of a country edge. It's just all reflective of the people we are and the things, the influences that speak to us. That's about the best way I can say that.
Yeah, we just let the songs kind of guide us, and they'll lead us and we'll try to give you the best. I'm trying to think of the word with the best representation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of what we're trying to do that we can give you again.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. As that chord grows shorter, I mean, I know for myself, I feel more compelled that we really need to do this. I mean, everybody's time's ticking away.
Absolutely. And it's what Bob's saying there too. Since we've been playing, Bob started before I did, and I got cranking about 2002, and in that 23-year period, most of the guys that I got fortunate to spend time sitting at their feet listening and learning, they're all gone. Like so many of the people we were fortunate to be around and learn from and experience, they're not with us anymore, and that's sad. But it also, we were both very privileged to be able to have that time with those guys like that and those ladies like that, to experience what they call the real deal. We definitely have no shortage of people that we were influenced by as far as the real deal goes, and I'm thankful for that. But like Bob said, everybody's time's ticking away all the time, and we better get to doing it before the doing time's over with. Let's see, it says, the working man blues isn't a genre for you two. It's been your real life. How have the experience of the last 14 years responsibilities, routine, simple joys inform the authenticity and weight you bring to the music now? I believe you can only be authentic by living a true life and not trying to be made up. Like the things we say, I mean, sometimes it may not be exciting because we're not sitting here trying to make up some kind of story about who we are. I mean, I purposely leave things out about my life that I don't think is anybody's business to be into. But I'm not made up. I'm not a made up person as far as like the experiences that I have. Like when I tell you about something that happened, it really happened. I'm not making up some kind of story or just to make it sound exciting. It's like I'm trying to be legitimate, and I think that's where a lot of the artists that influenced us, they were being legitimate souls and being honest souls, and So yeah, the authenticity part is just simply us being who we are, and if it comes off authentic, good. If it doesn't, then oh well, I can't help that. But it's it's who we are, and it's what we feel, and that's all we can do is put it out there like that.
Yeah, I would say we prefer salt of the earth over the new Gilded Age.
Absolutely, absolutely. We both grew up in rural areas around people who worked for a living. My family were into farm. A lot of them were farmers. I grew up on a farm. My grandparents kept me on a farm, and my parents. With my family, you're either in education or farming or something medical, and a lot that still sticks with even the ones that are in education and medical. I mean, we all come from those kinds of people, and it's hard to be fake when you come from people who were every bit as real as it gets. So matter of fact, my ancestors would tisk at me if I was being anything else but who I was. It's kind of unacceptable in their eyes. Let's see. Many artists fear stepping away. Was there a worry that the audience would forget or that you'd lose the thread? What did you learn about creativity during your time off? Well, our audience has evolved, and a lot of our audience is not there anymore, unfortunately, for multiple reasons. Like Bob said earlier, the time ticked away. There's always room for a new audience, and I really don't focus on that as much because the people will gravitate to us that are into what we're doing, and we're playing what we feel, and if that inspires people to become our audience, then we're glad for that. We're going to keep doing what we do and hope that it reaches some people, and it has before. So I don't feel as worried about that because we're speaking good things. We're trying that, we're attempting to, and hopefully that will draw people to the music. What have I learned creativity wise? I've learned to still stay true to yourself. It's a lot of the things I've learned that I've relearned, or it's dawned on me that the things we were doing before were right to begin with, and to keep plugging down that trail. I mean, I know a lot of people use technology now to compensate for things that aren't talent, maybe is the way to say that nicely, and AI and all these other things. We are anti all of that kind of stuff. Like, we believe in going to a proper studio and sounding good, but I would feel disingenuous if I put out something that was a computer algorithm or something like that. I just don't. We're about making real music.
Your roots music.
Right, and if it's got a mistake in it here and there, or a hiccup here and there, it is just what it is. That is one thing I've learned about creativity is the master artists like Dali and Van Gogh and people like that. If you go back and read them, they talk about purposely leaving mistakes in their art because that's part of the human. I mean, that shows your humanness, and bumps and bruises and scratches and scars and all that together, I mean, that just shows that you're human, and we are definitely human beings who've lived lives, and why be ashamed of your scars or your or any of that. So I guess I have learned, one thing I've learned is just to be who you are and be the best representation of that you can be, because there's only one you, there's only one me, it's only one Bob Bogdal, and it's only one Bogdal McKnight. So that's just all we can be and all we need to strive to be.
I agree.
The live experience, looking for the European Blues Festival circuit was a big part of your story. Pre-hiatus, what's the most vivid memory from those tours? What you're most excited about? Prospect of bringing this old. Okay, all right. I got to go to Europe, fortunately, a few times and experience that. And Bob's been there before. And one thing that struck me about being there and playing for those folks is their appreciation of American music, and their knowledge about American music. I mean, it was like they had taken college classes, studying the things that we love and are passionate about. So to be there and to carry on conversations with people who are from a whole other continent and a whole other ocean away is really, it's good for your heart, because it's easy to get out here in West Tennessee, where I'm from, and be like, this is just the hill, this is the sticks, and this is just the the country and nothing, nothing comes from here. But that's not true at all. Some of the pioneers of American music come from here, and I can remember being in places in Italy, and my accent, I don't think I even have an accent, but obviously I do. I'm from the country. They're like, well, your accent sounds like it. And I remember this girl, she said, oh, your accent. And I said, well, I'm from near Memphis, Tennessee, and I'm a little bit of ways, but you tell people Memphis because that's all they know. And this girl, she's like had a fit, and she rolled her sleeve up and she stuck her arm out, and she had Elvis just all across her arm. And you could tell she was so passionate about Elvis Presley. And it just blew me away. I was like, here I am standing a whole thousands of miles, 8,000 miles, however many thousands of miles away from home it was. And home was still with me. And it was because a bunch of hillbillies or sharecroppers or somebody, practiced enough on their porch to get a record recorded. And it touched the whole world. So that's the things I appreciate about being in their culture, and would love to go back and play some more for them, because the crowds there are excellent.
Yeah. And if you really want to see how we are more alike all over the world than we are different, travel the world and you will see that we all have a lot of experiences that are more similar than are more different. And the division really has to stop.
Yes, Bob's absolutely right that people are people wherever you go, and they're country people in all those places. That's what cracked me up. Is when I was in Italy, I'm thinking, I don't know really what I thought, but when you get out there and experience the people, they're a lot like we are. They speak a little bit different of language. Their food is excellent, but they do the same things we do.
They worry about the same things. They go to sleep at night and they think the same things. And
they love the same things we. They love their children. They want to see their children prosper, and they're not our enemies. They're not, they're people just like us, and they think the world of us, or at least they did then, because of the people we are and the art we create and other things too. So, yeah, I look forward to ever being able to spend some time with those people again, all over. All right, we're almost done. Let me see. Okay. For a new listener discovering you through Zombie Nation, the new version, what do you want them to take away from the album? And for the fans who waited, what's your message to them? A message thing. Our first thing is for somebody that's a new listener, I just wish you would give it, just like it. If you like it, good. If you don't, there's other music to listen to. Ain't no hard feelings there. But if you're a new listener, reach out to us. We're accessible human beings, and I know that. I'm literally not making this up. We were just in the museum in there, and these two ladies like, "Is this Elam?" They knew who I was because I spent a lot of time here, and I had introduced Bob to them because they had never met him, and they're like, "Is this Bob Bogdal that's on the album?" The Zombie Nation album? I was like, yeah. It's like, oh, we love that Zombie Nation song, the Zombification song. And I was like, yeah, that's us. So it's interesting when we talk to people about our music, that it makes you feel good as an artist for people to check your music out and listen and say that they like it. So again, you can reach out to us. Our music is heavily influenced by things that probably were made 80 years ago or more. We don't try to sound like 80 years ago, but it's going to come out. So, give it a chance and see what you think. I think that people that like real deal music, they'll dig what we're doing. And our message, I guess to be the eternal optimist is, my message to people is there's always hope. And when there's always hope, there's always something that you can do about whatever situation you're in. Whether it be bad things have happened to you in your life, or you feel like you get up every day and things aren't like they want to be, there's hope. And if you got hope, you can make change. And if you can make change, you can make things better. So that's kind of the message that I would always want to give people. Because I work with kids a lot of times. I'm always having to encourage them as a teacher, to encourage them and give them, or show them that there's hope and that there are things to look forward to. And if somebody's got something to look forward to, they'll get a lot further down the road than if they don't have things to look forward to. So that would be, you know, a message that I would hope our music conveys.
I agree. I'm good. I'm good with that.
All right, we're good with that. We're doing good. All right. Let's see. And the third question. Beyond the reissue, what's the dream? Is this a resurrection? Is this a one-off resurrection, or have you unlocked a new chapter for McKnight and Bogdal, or Bogdal and McKnight? This is not a one-off. This is us stepping back into the game, planting our flag again. We planted it really firmly the first time. We got critical responses from all over the world, from all corners of the world. We got played on the radio. We did. So this is us planting our flag again, and it's just the beginning of a continuation. And so this is us getting back in it to win it, and playing music, no matter what happens. Like we talked about that last night, is that we do it because we love it. And I don't think there's really beyond that. Like if you're doing it for any other reason but that you love it, it's gonna show through. I mean, people are gonna know that you're just up there hacking away for financial gain or whatever it is your other goals are. If it's not any love or passion in what you're doing, I mean, to me, the people I listen to and gravitate towards, you can hear it in their music. And if I'm not hearing their music, they are doing a good job faking, and they have fooled me. But I like to believe that the people that I'm listening to do music because they ain't got anything else they can do. They have to do it. And when you hear that have to do it in people's music, it rings true to me.
Should I do one more pass?
Whatever you think. I don't.
There's only a few little things. I think you just take them out.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right. It's Jim Gambino playing keys.
Yeah, I like that.
He played with a band called the Swinging Stakes. They were like big band in the 90s.
In this area?
All right, well, that's it. I think we got it. What we need. Hey, thank you for listening to us. I'm Elam McKnight. This is Bob Bogdal, and we appreciate you, and we look forward to seeing you. Take care. Bye.
Thank you.
All right, that went better than I thought it would.